Hi, I'm Gwen, and this is the review video for intermediate long string flow wand. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the beginner long string flow wand video. That's going to cover the basic grips that I'm going to be using in this video, as well as some basic terminology. One important review for those of you tuning in for the first time. One thing, wand hand for me is the hand that I've got the wand anchored to. It's attached to my finger over here. For me, that's my left hand. Offhand is right hand. Since people do wanded different hands, I'm not going to be saying send it to your left, to your right. I'm going to say send it to your wand hand side or to your offhand side. So if you are doing it on your right hand side, everything you're going to be seeing, you're going to do in a mirror image. If you do it on your left hand like me, you got to reverse it. So we're going to be talking about flowers and stalks. Why do we like flowers and stalks? Flow wand is a lovely, flowy, smooth, magical thing, and if you do this for 5 minutes, you will hypnotize people, which is great, except that sometimes it's nice to wake them up too. That is why we do things like this, because we want to give some visual interest. So let's start small with that. Flowers, you start with the basic palm spin. Palm spin is you have in your wand hand, the string goes up between the front and forefinger of your offhand, just like this. Then you grab it and keep your hand out of the way. Here's what that looks like from the side. I'm grabbing it, and then I'm just keeping my hand out of the way. Now, something to note, this wand is moving entirely under its own momentum at this point. So there's nothing we can do to change the direction of that spin. This is why it's going to be really important to make sure you're working on having nice, flat planes in whatever direction you want to have them. If you want to have horizontal, that's great. If you want to have it vertical, make sure it's vertical, because if it's vertical, you can do stuff like this. You can walk with it. Here's what that looks like from the front. You can start doing flowers. Flowers are just circles inside circles. This is terminology that we use in a lot of other spinning arts. I learned it from Poi. And when they're going in the same direction, that's in spin. So you can do them both going forward like this. You can also do them both going backwards. That's in spin as well. And then you can do anti-spin. Wands going backwards, arms going forwards. I'm not quite as good at this one. There we go. And same deal with the other thing. So those are things to just drill. I find it's helpful because you have to keep your hand so flat. It's very hard to do this directly in front of you. Instead, you can either do it all the way off to the side like this, or you can cheat it and be sort of 3/4 view. In either case, here's what that looks like from the side. So you can see I said it spinning, then I'm going and doing a circle with the wand. Those are basic flowers. Something else to know, you can also do all of these with your other hand. So when you're coming across, you've got open, you're just going to kind of, again, one hand offhand, you're going to wrap it across the back of your offhand, so you can see the string is going just across the back, and then it's resting in a V grip in my wand hand. So it's anchored there twice. And now I can just do all the same things. I can do a flower, I can do a back flower. Start doing this right away. I did not start doing this till a good year after I started doing flowers on my other hand, and I'm not nearly as good as it. Don't make that mistake. Because when you're performing, it's great to be able to be symmetrical. So those are basic flowers. What about some other types of flowers? This one is probably my biggest showstopper move. It's a kick flower. When you do this, especially when you do it on fire, it grabs a lot of attention. It's not nearly as hard as it looks. So here, what's going on here? Well, first of all, I'm doing a pendulum towards my wand hand side, pendulum, and then starting doing circles, right? So this is what the wand's doing. It's doing a pendulum to my wand hand side, then it's doing a circle. I'm lifting my leg. What it is, it's an under the leg pass that you stomp on, which actually makes it easier than under the leg pass. So you get the wand under your leg. If you were to do an under the leg pass, you'd be trying not to hit that wand. I'm not very good at this, but that's fortunate because all you have to do is get it under there, then stomp down on it. And that's what gets that nice spin going. So again, it's pendulum, circle. And all that you're doing is stomping down on this space right here between the wand and the string. So the wand passes under my leg, I kick down, and then I go a couple direct times in this direction. I like to switch to the other direction too. You get some anti-spin there. And that's a kick flower. Then you can finish it off with a nice palm spin for a flourish. People will applaud this one. Another variation on that, you can do something similar with your hands. You see I'm wrapping in a little bit more. I find for this move, the right amount of string is about this much. It's the same deal. This time you're going to pendulum towards your offhand side, then go up around. So pendulum to your offhand side, and once the wand passes, so the wand goes up here, my arm comes under, the wand comes back down and hits it. That's what gets it started going. And I like to do this nice arms going opposite directions. So movement to improve the sort of symmetry and the flow. Same thing, you can bring it back the other direction, then just slide right along the string so you can grab it again. Using the V grip that we've talked about before. So those are your basic flowers. The next important thing is stalls. Stalls can be very, very dramatic, especially if you've been moving very, very quickly and all of a sudden your wand stops dead, or pretty close to dead. So how do we do this? First of all, you want to start with side stalls. The easiest way to do this is to sort of chase the wand and slow down. It's just like if you've spun poi, if you've done really anything else that's attached to a string, it's the same idea. So it's kind of circling my hand, and then I'm chasing it and stalling. Do that the other direction. You can drill these back and forth. You can also do pendulums, sort of back and forth, and this gravity is going to take it back the other direction. Another way, this is really one of the nice things about long string wand, you can cheat. You've got this lovely hand and this lovely string, and you run one into the other. So that's a really easy way to change direction. Downstall, which is one of the more dramatic ones, you have to toss the wand up until it hits that zero gravity point and just kind of floating, so it's not tense anymore. It'll start to fall by itself, and then you have to chase it. I find it helps to magnify this motion, especially when you're learning. So send it up and then really chase it down. So it's up and then chase it. And it's a thing to get the feeling for. If you go too hard and just stop too suddenly, it'll bounce. If you do it too softly, it's going to keep swinging. So if you're doing this and it's just going and keep swinging, you weren't doing it quite fast enough. If it bounces, you were doing it a little too fast. And just play with it until you get it to do what you want. And again, it's that same thing. I'm gradually slow it down until it stops. So that's flowers and stalls. And thanks a lot.